Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll be going over builds for every single Marksman rifle in Delta Force. This is a very strange weapon category in this game. I find it to be more useful in operations compared to warfare. And for this weapon category in particular, I would highly recommend watching the individual weapon segments and learning about these specific weapons rather than just going to the description and immediately copying the build codes, because there are some really strange things about these Marksman rifles and some useful information, like some of these are full auto, and I don't really think that's widely known information. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. If you enjoy content like this, I'll be putting out many more videos where this came from, so be sure to subscribe to the channel and of course hit the like button so YouTube knows this is a good video. Alright, the first weapon I'm going to be going over is the Mini 14. The way I'm going to do this is I'm basically going to demonstrate how the weapon shoots. I'm going to talk about some weird aspects of it and, sort of describe the build, and I'm going to show you guys the damage ranges, at least on the chart, because that's really important for Marksman rifles. It feels really bad when you play with a Marksman rifle and you're shooting someone like 7 times. You're like, oh my god, why is he not dying? So knowing your damage range is really important. This is the Mini 14. It's a very popular weapon. I think in operations, it's extremely good in mid-range, not so good at long range. This is going to be a closer range DMR. It has an incredible fire rate, 590, which means you can spam it. I mean, just look at this. Like, if you have a good trigger finger, this is the weapon for you. The damage model on this is pretty good. 25 damage out to just over 100 meters. I believe that's either 110 or 105 meters. It does 25 damage to the entire body, which makes this gun extremely consistent bullet to kill wise. You can shoot them all the way down in their, shin or in the chest, and you're doing the same BTK. Like I said, this is a more close range DMR. So here are the calibrations. You can pause the video and copy these calibrations. And then here are the attachments. So I'm using the Sandstorm vertical compensator for that camera control to make it really stable to shoot. Using the enhanced barrel to get that extra range. Using the angled hand stop for that extra handling. Handling patches here on the rails. No laser. I don't think lasers are worth it on DMRs. You kind of do need to catch people off guard with DMRs, in my opinion. I don't think running a visible laser is worth it most of the time. There are exceptions, though, later on in the video. For the magazine, I like the 30-round magazine just because this weapon is so spammy. Make sure you're using your mag assist here. I like using the 2x scope because it doesn't really have any handling penalties, and you can calibrate it to be a 2.25x scope if you so desire. And then again, because this is a closer range DMR, I went with the Elite Light stock for that bonus ADS movement speed, so you can really strafe on people while you're actually shooting. And then, of course, you're going to want to use the Mini 14 Advanced frame system because it does unlock a lot of attachment slots, and without it, you lose quite a bit of functionality here. So moving on to the PSG-1, this is going to be a much different DMR. Don't go based off of the, range stats or anything. Mini 14, way more CQC, even though the range stat on this particular Mini 14 build is the same as this PSG-1 build. So don't go basing the range of your DMRs off of the range stat. The PSG-1 is way more long range. Here's how it shoots. This gun is devastating, just absolutely devastating damage-wise. Now, taking a look at things here, 353 RPM, and the damage model is really good. We're talking 3 bullet to kill out to, I think, like 100+ meters. That might be just 100 meters. We'll go to the 100-meter target here. We'll turn on damage. Yeah, and then is he getting 3-shot out here too? No, that's a 4-shot. So extremely long-range damage model, tons of damage you're putting down range. And then if you look here, 940 meters per second bullet velocity without a suppressor. If you slapped a suppressor on here, for instance, like, I don't know, where's the Whisper Tactical? You're pushing 1,000 meters per second. I didn't do that for this build because I didn't think it was necessary. Here are the calibrations. You can pause the video and copy them. And here are the attachments. Again, I went with the Sandstorm vertical compensator to sort of reduce that vertical camera firing stability. As you can see, it is extremely stable. even when shooting super quickly. Again, handling patches here. No laser again. Folding grip, strangely enough, on this weapon to just sort of offset some of the other penalties on the weapon. I went with the 30-round mag. If you like more handling, you can absolutely go with the 20-round magazine. Then, where was I? The grip here. G3 skeleton foregrip, control and handling. And then with the trigger, I went with this because you just get a lot more fire rate. And I find you can just make up the stability anyway. Like, the stability on this gun is still super good. And the skeleton sniper stock. So this gun is extremely good. Really doesn't move at all when you shoot it. And it's very consistent damage model-wise. Moving on here to... Where am I moving on here to? The SR-25. This is a super long-range DMR, in my opinion. It has crazy muzzle velocity as well. 929 meters per second. And if you take a look at the damage model here, 3 BTK out to, I think that's like 130 meters. Like, we'll set this target up here. 150 meters. We'll do like 128. Yeah. So you're 3-shotting people out to insane distance with this weapon. Here are the calibrations. Okay. Now here are the attachments. With this weapon, I went with the Resonant Sniper Rifle Suppressor. If you missed my video yesterday explaining what reduced minimap visibility when firing strong actually means, basically I made a video explaining suppressors. Definitely go catch that. I'll link that in the description. This does have a penalty to your fire rate, but as you can see, it doesn't really matter. You're still pushing, I believe, over, 339 RPM. People are going to be dying across the map extremely quickly, especially if you hit every single one of your shots. So I like using this not only for the suppressive qualities of it, but for the muzzle velocity. Without this, you're going to be using like 749-ish meters per second. I like pushing it all the way up to 900, making it super long range. You're going to want to use your long-range barrel here as well to extend that damage range. Handling on all the patches. And the cool thing about this gun, because you can use this handguard, you get a ton of patches, which is really, really useful. It's worth noting that 3x, I believe any sight over 3x has scope glint. Any sight 3x and below has no scope glint. So a really good scope for this is the Viewpoint 3X. It's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at this sight. Boom. Really clean. Love the reticle on it. For the foregrip, I went with the RKO foregrip. Again, you're going to want to have some vertical camera firing stability on these DMRs because of the nature of DMRs. They do kick. And I don't find that horizontal recoil is too bad on most of them. We'll get to a very bad culprit later, though. 416 stable stock here. 20-round magazine. I don't really think you're going to want to use the 30-round on this weapon because you're going to want to stay pretty far back using this weapon. It's definitely a long-range DMR. Then phantom rear grip, and then, of course, use your mag assist. Really, really fun weapon. Lots of headshot damage, too. Moving on here. Okay, this one's a bit of a doozy. The SKS. This gun, I'm not gonna lie, is absolute dog shit. Here's how it shoots. And yes, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, this is as good as I could get it. Now, this is why I said watch the individual weapon segments, because this gun is really weird. The reason why this gun is weird is if you just take a look at how this weapon shoots. You notice how it has that like weird little horizontal jump? Well, take a look at the recoil pattern here, okay? It's disgusting. Look at this. This is the reason why it has that weird horizontal jump. So I find the best way to use this weapon is to actually run double horizontal recoil control attachments. But here are the calibrations. And then, again, this is going to be a more close-range DMR. You're not going to want to use this at range. It does 27 damage out to about, like, I don't know, 60-ish meters here. It's going to be a closer-range DMR. I would honestly use the Mini over this because the Mini is just way simpler to use, and it feels way better. Moving on here, though. Long range barrel, you're going to want to use Bastion and Secret Order Bevel Foregrip for that double horizontal recoil control. I will show you what happens if you don't use it. Like, for instance, if I just use the Sandstorm, watch how weird this horizontal pull gets. You see how it jumps to the right? I just personally thought that felt like trash, so I went with the Bastion. You're going to want to use the 30 round on this. The 40 round is just, it's just, there are too many downsides. I mean, it destroys your stability, destroys your reload time, and your handling, and your firing stability. And trust me, this weapon does not need worse firing stability. You're absolutely going to want to use the advanced handguard kit to open up all of these attachment slots. Rear grip, I went with the Scorpio rear grip for maximum control, because again, this weapon feels like trash. And then Shadow Rail stock. And then on your patches, use stability. I don't know. This is the only DMR that is available to the assault class, and I think it's pretty disappointing in my opinion. I would like to see them buff this weapon, just because I just don't think it feels that good to play with. Moving on, here are some very interesting weapons. This is why I said maybe watch this video all the way through for weapons you're interested in, because this is a marksman rifle, right? The M14, but it's full auto. Okay. This weapon you should not use as a DMR. You should use this as an AR, okay? This gun chunks them, okay? This is only available on the engineer class, I believe. If you take a look at the damage model here, it definitely doesn't have a DMR damage model. You can't really extend these damage ranges to where it would be useful as a DMR, so this is why I recommend running it as an assault rifle here. Here are the calibrations. You can just copy them. And then for the attachments, this weapon has a pretty nasty like recoil. I'll just show you. But I managed to get it down pretty well with these attachments. You're gonna want to use a laser on this build because again, it's like kind of like an AR. You're gonna be mid-close. For your barrel, you're gonna want to use the Insight Ultra Long Barrel with the Sandstorm Vertical Compensator and the Secret Order Bevel Foregrip to quell that horizontal recoil. Take a look at the pattern here. It does go up and to the right. But with the Secret Order Bevel Foregrip, you can get it down pretty well. I like the 30 round magazine. Tried to make the 50 round drum mag work. Unfortunately, I could not make it work. I was really sad about it. For your patches, use your handling patches here. Optic, use the Cobra accuracy sight because if you look when I aim down sights, this sight is physically taller, so it raises your red dot above that pesky front post on the actual weapon itself. For the handguard here, this is basically, it replaces this, and this gives you way more attachment slots, so you're going to want to use the advanced frame system for this weapon. I mentioned the magazine already, and for the stock, I like the MRGS skeleton stock. Optionally, you could go for the skeleton sniper stock, but I think the control is just a little too bad without it. But yeah, that's a really fun weapon. The M14 is full auto. And then we'll go over the VSS next, then the SVD. So this is another one that is full auto. And it's really good. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a sleeper weapon, all right? I don't see anyone using this, really. Not in Havoc Warfare. Maybe it's popular in operations, but this gun is disgusting. Very consistent BTK on this VSS. Look at this. 4 bullets to kill, so it does 33 damage, out to 130 or 140 meters. I think it's 130. Like, absolutely crazy. Yeah, like just nuts. Fire rate's pretty decent. Recoil's pretty low. And I like using the 2x sight on this because, again, the fire rate is slow enough to where you don't want to really be running in people's faces, but you can stay at mid-range and just destroy people with this gun. Thankfully, the build is pretty simple, too. You only get... You get barely any attachment options here. You're going to want to use the stock for that maximum control. Gonna want to use the 30-round mag. I could not make the 45-round mag work on this weapon. We don't really need it. It's slow enough fire rate to where you can be really accurate. And I'm aware I missed the calibrations. I'll show you those in a second. Handling mag here. You're going to want to use the resonant ergonomic foregrip to get rid of that vertical bounce when you shoot. If you weren't using that, it would bounce significantly more. For the barrel, you're going to want to use your only barrel here, obviously. And that is pretty much it, aside from the laser. Here are the calibrations. You can copy them. And this is really one of my favorite weapons. The only downside to this weapon is because it's a VSS, I mean, you're looking at sub 400 millisecond, sub 400 meters per second muzzle velocity, which is obviously very, very slow. You're gonna be having problems leading your targets sometimes, but the damage is fantastic. This weapon really does wreak havoc. And hopefully I'll have some gameplay on my stream of this tomorrow. Shout out to my stream, by the way, a little plug here. I stream every single day. Be sure to follow the stream. First link in the description. And the last weapon in this video, the SVD. Fan favorite of mine, at least. I think it looks absolutely sick. Here's how it shoots. This is going to be, I believe, your highest damage DMR in the entire game. Let me just check. This does 40 damage. Yeah, 35, 35, 27... 33. Yeah, so this is the highest damage DMR in the entire game. Does 60 damage to the head, 40 to the chest, and that damage extends all the way to, I believe, 110 meters. Then you have a pretty dang good body damage distribution here. It does 40 damage to the chest and lower abdomen here. Unfortunately, it does have really bad shoulder and arm and just limb multipliers in general. So if you hit someone in the shoulder, you're going to be doing 28 damage, down from 40. So you're losing 12 damage just by missing that little bit. So if you're very accurate, this gun is going to reward you. If you're not, maybe use something more consistent like the Mini 14 that has great limb multipliers. Here are the calibrations. And then for this is going to be, again, one of your longer range DMRs. I would not be very close using this, so that is why I spec'd it out to have 872 meters per second muzzle velocity, and basically you're meant to hunker down when you use this. So the handguard, definitely use the SVD rail handguard. This does, as you can see, you use the polymer handguard, you don't get any of these patches, so be sure to use the SVD rail handguard. For your rails, you're going to want to use handling again. For your sight, I guess it's personal preference. You can go with the 2X or that, the Russian 3X or the Viewpoint 3X, depending on your situation here. The barrel, longest range barrel. For the suppressor, resonant sniper suppressor. For your foregrip here, you're going to want to use RKO. Magazine, use the only magazine available. You're going to want 20 rounds. I believe the default in this is 10. It's just a little low, in my opinion. Use your mag assist here. Then you're going to want to use the grip adapter. I did try using this because it does have the unique stat of single fire control and stability, but I found the handling was way too bad. So I like the grip adapter, and then I used the skeleton sniper stock. And then this is the result. It has a really nice reset. This weapon's really comfortable, and it looks really cool. So that's a bonus. And I think it head bodies. It does headshot body shot out to, yeah, I mean, that guy's how far away? 100 meters away. Well, how far is this guy? 128. Let's see if it does that. Wow, yeah. So, extremely good weapon. I believe that is it. Let me just double check I didn't miss anything. SVD, PSG1. Yep. Okay, that is it. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate you guys. If you enjoy videos like this, I'll be putting out weapon videos or category weapon guides for shotguns and sniper rifles on top of sidearms pretty soon. The sidearm category has some sleepers, guys, some sleepers. So if you want to catch those videos, definitely subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, come by the streams. I may or may not be playing at a $40,000 Delta Force tournament right now as you're watching this video. The tournament is going on the day that I upload this video. So if you're watching on January 10th and it's pretty late at night in the United States, could be playing the tournament right now. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.